It's the yellow car with the black stripe. That is Matt Fox from St Albans. Green car with the gold trim is championship leader Max Richardson alongside. George Hawkins in the Dayglow yellow car with the orange roll cage. Nick Tomadakis in the red car on row 2. Then we've got Kyle Townend, he's in yellow, and Richard Davies in red and black alongside him. Those are the leading runners to look out for. This grid of novice racers. The red lights are on for the move of Caterham Academy Championship. Revs are up and away they go down towards the first corner, the left-hander at turn 1. A little bit of wheel spin further back in the pack for one or two drivers. It's their first time here at Anglesey, unless any of them have been here on a track day in the past. I imagine one or two of them have, and it is Matt Fox who leads the way into the banking for the first time. Richardson in second place. It looks like Nick Tomadakis up there in third position. They've all made it round the first couple of corners okay, out towards the right-hander at Church and out onto the back of the circuit. Fox leads the way then from Richardson. Tomadakis side by side for fourth between Hawkins and Richard Davies in the 25. Trying to go between the two of them is Kyle Townend, number 19. The rest of them charge their way up the hill into the left-hander at Rocket. Let's hope they all make it round okay. Very, very tricky section of circuit, as we've already seen on a few occasions today, and George Hawkins has dropped back a bit into the pack. That's the bright Dayglow yellow machine. But they're all round okay so far on the first half a lap or so. The leaders head towards Peel and then down towards Siemens Corner for the first time.
Watch Carl Townend coming through the field. He's had he had a fast start to the season, but he's had a little tricky at Thruxton, had some accidents that got a DNF, and therefore he will be thirsty to make his way up.
Not a DNF, but yeah, I was definitely thirsty.
So watch for that yellow car there just coming through. So Matt Fox out front in the yellow car, but it will be the sort of second on the track as we watch battles going around. We call it a hairpin, but it's actually a really wide open, really difficult to pick your braking point. We saw some issues for the 270s finding their braking point earlier on today. You can see how it even has gradient coming down through the middle, so it's a difficult corner for these cars. And the Caterham Academy here driving on dedicated tyres. They're the only ones that run on these, and they're low grip. You will see the cars squirming, you will hear the tyres squealing, and because they don't have a rear anti-roll bar in this car as well, you'll see the rear of their car squat down. You can see the suspension working hard there in Davies' car as he bounces over the exit curbs. Another move down the inside there. Some great late braking by these academies. Remember, this is only their third ever track race, so going very well out here today. But yeah, watch Townend coming through, and can Richardson do anything about Matt Fox, who's got a clean pair of heels? He's got a little bit of a gap there, hasn't he, before we have Tomadakis, who's making, and again, taking on that performance from Thruxton and making it happen here in third place. So it's Hawkins who's lost out in all that. We saw him sort of running wide, and that cost him a lot of places.
Big thanks to Moobob Recruitment for their sponsorship of the championship as well this year. A new sponsor coming on board as Fox leads the way on the top of the circuit up towards the right-hander at Peel. You'll see a few of the cars sliding their way around here, especially early in the race on colder tyres. The rest of them starting to string out. The first half dozen or so have pulled away just a little. Over the top they come. Stephen Vischer we saw battling it out on the run up towards Rocket last time through the number 13. He's in 7th place along with the number 80 of Ben Oliver. Brother Joe is a little further down the order in this race. Through the, as we said, we call it the hairpin. It's a bit like Agostini, the corner at Snetterton on the infield there, except you turn right here instead of left.
Agostini is definitely a bit tighter though. This is, again, it just has that extra bit of it. It sort of nips in back of you. This one you can see how they get to the edge of the track pretty quickly, and then the kind of turns quite viciously back on you. But Matt Fox is doing what he needs to do from pole position and breaking away a little bit of gap back to Richardson. It looked like Richardson with the early season race form was going to be hard to catch, but they've all done it. They put in the miles and the practice, and their skill levels increasing every time they hit the track, and doing quite well. As we watch this battle a little bit further back, that's Townend just behind Davies there on track, and you can see the 56 of Hawkins has now recovered back, so he's up a place again. You can see they've all got the novice cross on because they're all starting without any experience, and by the time they get to the end of the season, as long as they finished enough of these races, enough signatures on their licence, they will get to remove that novice cross. Green flag there flying at Marshall Post 4, which means that there might be a yellow flag at the previous one, which will be through banking hairpin. wonder what that's caused that, but we see these battles side-by-side action as they go around this, as you say, non-straight, isn't it? It's a curved back straight, but it's certainly they'll be building a lot of speed. A little bit of dust kicked up there by one of our runners as he just clicked through that right-hand and out-braked himself as he went up the hill there as well. But we're watching this Caterham Academy. 15 minutes of this race still to go. So watch them coming down towards us.
It's the number 80 car, that's Ben Oliver. We mentioned him earlier. He's running in P7 at the moment, being chased by Stephen Vischer, Ollie Walsh and Seb Tholey running at the top 10. So Seb did get his car repaired after that incident at the banking in the qualifying session earlier on. Here come your leaders up towards the hairpin. They're splitting into groups of 3, as we saw the 310Rs do earlier on, to slipstream down the straights with. You take your partners almost, to borrow a phrase from fellow commentator Chris Dawes. Through they come into the hairpin. That's I think the number 14 of Andrew Johnston starting to move through up the inside there, a little further back in the order.
Head of title sponsor move up, so welcome to the, well, he's very welcome on the grid and enjoying the product that he is sponsoring as well. So again, putting, you know, the fun into this racing and having a great old time. Great looking car as well as he comes down towards us. Battles all the way up and down this field. They've not really spread out like we saw in the other races, have they? They've still nose to tail. Here's Hawkins going down the inside, then Townend losing out then to Hawkins. That's how you can hear the tyres squealing as he went around there, complaining with everything they had, but he managed to keep it all under control.
And notice that a lot of these cars have got the number plates still on them. These cars are often driven on the road to the events, aren't they?
They must have a number plate on. It doesn't have to be a road legal one, but you'll see that many of them are road legal because they have to be registered, like you say, and you can, if you want to, just put a line through your numbers and off you go out. And then many of these drivers do make use of their cars. I certainly did when I had one out on the track and on the road. They are equally at home as both, and fun cars indeed as they go up then over Rocket into this Peel complex. Again, you can see the gradient in the track and how much of an adventure it is for all these drivers. So not only are you dealing with turning left and right, you're also dealing with gravity, gradient and wind here at Anglesey.
Yes, the cars like the, especially on the top section of the circuit, likes to be blown around a little, as we see number 72 Christian Bond there under fire. He's in 11th place. Now, I'm trying to work out why we had that yellow flag earlier on. Yeah, Ollie Walsh has dropped back a few places to 55, so he may have had a spin coming out of the banking. Well, his number plate does say send it, and I think he sent it a little bit too much.
Very easy to do down there as well, isn't it? We said it's hard to pick your braking point, really difficult. No brake references that are anywhere near the edge of the track, and therefore it's hard to pick out how late is late. You have to just do it by feel more than anything. So they're coming down then to start onto their 4th lap. You see the field is still a gaggle of cars coming down towards us, some sort of on the inside, some using the middle of the track, but they'll all gain to the edge of the track by the time they get down there. There's that battle continuing between Johnson and Wilson as they head down into the final corner. You can see the windmill in the paddock absolutely blustered along. It's really is windy out there today.
Yes, I think if you had an electric car here at Anglesey today, you could charge it up by the end of the day using that wind turbine. As the number 10 car closing on these two, that's James French, and somebody's had a spin. Number 8 of Jason Spencer has had a moment there further back in the back. Now, where's that? That's coming out of the last corner. He's had a spin, so gets it going again. He was towards the back of the field anyway, unfortunately, so he's got work to do from there. 12 minutes of this race to go for the move on Caterham Academy. Novice racers putting on a great show so far.
Matt Fox though doing what, as I said already, he's doing what he needs to do. He's just clean pair of heels, and we've seen that a couple of times, haven't we? This Anglesey circuit with these wind conditions, and when cars battle in different ways, we have seen gaps managing to form and break clear. And say when we were at Thruxton, another spin going to the inside there. That was Johnson, was it? So unfortunately his car spinning to the inside, he recovers onto the grass, he will get going again, but he will lose quite a number of places. We didn't see what happened. That's going really fast along that kind of back corner, isn't it? So yeah, sort of not a place you want to have an accident, but he's up and running again. Looks like the car's all in one piece.
The Hunter, as it says on the number plate, so he's going to have to hunt down a few cars and make some places back up then. The championship sponsor George Hawkins up until he was taken 5th place from Kyle Townend. He's up to P5 and now trying to chase down Richard Davies. Bit of a lock up there from the number 62, which is Georgina Tuffin.
She had a rear of her cars fully locked up. She's got a kind of Jaws out livery on her car. As we're watching this again, Townend going to battle with Hawkins. They are not finished with this, but they're not able to keep up with the car in front. They're going side by side through turn 1. There isn't room to do that. They are going to make it happen though. and Hawkins carries on around the outside. Is he going to get it all stopped this time? He's been a little bit erratic on those brakes, but he manages to get that car all stopped up this time, less tyre squeal, and he's going to carry that momentum down this next straight. But that's not going to stop going to stop Townend getting the toe as they head up the hill. But here comes the leader then, Fox up the hill ahead of Richardson, our sort of championship leader. Then Tomadakis, who's having a great season as he's coming into this middle part, and Davis just behind him. We got that side by side for this battle between Hawkins and Townend, really showing not showing their lack of experience. Really, they're really having a great old time out there.
We're up to half distance, 10 minutes gone, 10 to go, as Hawkins still side by side with Townend. That's the feature battle at the moment. They're being reeled in by Ben Oliver and Steve Vischer in behind them there, the 80 and the 13. Ben Oliver in silver, Vischer in blue. As Hawkins tries to move to cover as they go through Peel. Fox leads by 1.6 seconds over Max Richardson. Nick Tomadakis in third, ahead of Richard Davies. He'll want some success this weekend, the Welshman.
Saw some people out there supporting him, obviously taking the drive up here, and obviously we get lots of friends and family. They come along and join whoever's driving out there for supporting them, because many people need, we can't have teams or any support in this. So if you're expected to look after your car over the course of the race weekend, and family is a perfect opportunity to get them involved. And I know from, say, past experience how important the family paddock atmosphere is, and how important they are to keeping these cars all going in the right direction. We've got a four-way battle now as they get Oliver and Vischer get to join Townend and Hawkins in this battle, and unfortunately they're slowing each other down sufficiently that it's going to cause them all to bunch up. But that's great for us. It's not so much good for them, and trying to get those points as Townend does make the better of that corner, but he's chopping across the nose of Hawkins that time. He didn't want to let Hawkins have any sniff of that position, and Townend does make that stick for now, but unfortunately he's now giving the toe to Hawkins, so he's not going to be able to break clear as we got this battle behind with Oliver and Vischer just going hammer and tong as well as they go around Church. There really should be a flat out corner, but they made it even tighter by just going side by side again then for this battle.
We can see Richard Davies disappearing up the road in front of them in fourth place. Sensational battle for P5. I think Stephen Vischer's got the move done, yes, on Ben Oliver into P7. Now he's going to go for the two ahead of him. Still your leader is Fox by 1.6 seconds. His lap time's actually identical to Max Richardson last time through. Townend back into P5 ahead of George Hawkins, who was the winner at Thruxton, mired in this battle for the minor placings this time. Peel then drop down towards the left-hander at Siemens corner.
They are flinging these cars around. You can see that because you don't have the rear anti-roll bar, you can see the weight transfer, and Townend then was really flinging it. Here's the lead group then, as we're just watching the cars. There's a bit of a gap now developing, isn't there? So they really are going to be battling for this part of the race. They're not going to reach that front group again, but I can see Townend locking those rears and sort of almost backing the car into the corners. He's trying so hard to break the toe, but he's just not managing it, although they're going sufficiently fast now that it has spread out that group battle that they had. But Hawkins is not done yet, and he's on that better position car. Enough threat to Townend that Townend felt like he couldn't use the edge of the track and leave that open inside line, so he decided to shorten that corner a little bit and stop that, but it will slow them down once more. It's how you lose speed in a Caterham, by not using it in any race car, not using that full width of the track, but he's feeling he has to stop any sniff of the inside line being able to be used by Hawkins.
7 minutes of this race to go then. Still Matt Fox leads it. The gap's come down by a couple of tenths. Max Richardson looking for his second race win, third event win of the season. Of course, the opening event of the year was a sprint against the clock at the famed Kerborough sprint course near Lichfield in Staffordshire. Side by side here a little further back. This is the battle for seventh again. Ben Oliver and Stephen Vischer together. Ben Oliver comes from Norwich, Stephen Vischer from London. There goes the lead group through Peel. Still your leader, Fox from Richardson. Nick Tomadakis up there in third. Richard Davies up there as well. He was second in the sprint at Kerborough behind Max Richardson. Matt Fox was third there. Max went on to win at Brands Hatch with Kyle Townend in second place, and third went to Ben Oliver. Then at Thruxton it was George Hawkins in a frantic fight at the front of the field. They really were superb at Thruxton. Max Richardson was second, and Nick Tomadakis got his first podium in third. So there is a hierarchy being established now in this championship, and still this battle goes on with Kyle Townend now behind George Hawkins once again, determined to get the place back.
These drivers have not raced on track before this season, you know, and this is what I mean by them putting on a great show. Really not a knowledge of the car already, and a knowledge of how the size and the kind of race tactics and how do you make cutbacks, when do you defend, when do you attack, and now Townend's not giving Hawkins any of the width of the track there, holding him, pinching him as we would call it, into the last turn. That means he's hoping to get a better run out of that. He's not really going to be able to use it around turn 1, because turn 1 is not really a side-by-side corner. It's a very nearly flat out left, because then you can see the car's working hard, leaning, and all the way to the edge of the track. Then Hawkins driving it back, having enough gap back to, understanding he's got enough gap back that he can use the whole of the track and sweep the car nicely through the banking hairpin in through Church. Then again, you generally lift the throttle just to get the front of the car tucked in. And as soon as you can, you get back on that throttle and then pin the car, hope that you don't run out of space onto the... In fact, we saw the perfect example. He did run out of space. That was Ben Oliver, wasn't it? Just losing a little bit of the car rear end as he went off the grass as they go up through and into the rocket again once more.
Yes, because of the commentator there for Ben Oliver, unfortunately. Sorry, Ben, as he takes a wide line into Rocket, tries to cut back on the inside to close up on Kyle Townend. 4.5 minutes of the race remaining. Well, he's held off Stephen Vischer there for 7th position, I should say. Behind them, it's the number 12 of John Bond and Sebastian Thulle in the 24, rounding out the top 10 positions. All 31 cars, I think, are still running, which is good to see from the Mubov Caterham Academy. And Matt Fox continues to lead, looking for his first ever motor race victory.
Gaps extending out front.
George Hawkins has dropped back there. Something's happened. There's only 3 together now. Hawkins is back in 8th place.
He was driving, wonder whether he had a little bit of an out-braking manoeuvre. We've seen that sort of a couple of times, haven't we? But the gaps out front spreading out that last time through, so maybe Fox has now broken that toe properly from Richards behind him, and so we'll see whether he can continue that progress this time through. In fact, the gap has gone significantly out now. So what's happened to Richards, Max Richardson as well at the front there, because he's lost a second or so on that last lap through.
He's lost pretty much exactly a second, and Matt Fox did a new fastest lap as well of 1:46.575. So he's extended his lead by a full second on that lap. Tomadakis is still third, just
outside lap record pace, so not quite there, but if he can get another 10th, he might have a lap record as well.
Richard Davies still rather on his own in 4th. He's 3 seconds off Nick Tomadakis, and he's over 6.5 seconds clear of Townend. This battle for 5th position. 3 minutes of this race to go. There's Hawkins dropping back into the clutches of number 12 John Bond, now in 9th place, side by side up the hill now. This is Ben Oliver's opportunity to try and snatch P5 away from Kyle Townend. He's a bit sideways there on the inside line. That allows Townend to hold the place. Here comes Stephen Vischer having a look as well. Great 3-way fight. Now it was 4, but George Hawkins has dropped back. We weren't sure why there, whether he's made a mistake somewhere and dropped away into 8th place.
Ben Oliver's come through from 18th place on the grid. Am I reading that right? Has he come all the way up to this front of this grid? Because he did that quite quick smart if he did. And so,
no, Ben Oliver was on row 4.
There we go, okay. So it's not quite that spectacular, and I got the wrong sheet open on my screen, but fantastic to see him up there battling anyway as we watch these more battles. Whatever happened to Hawkins? He's got another spin there. Who's that spinning?
It's Ben Oliver. So we just mentioned how well he was going. He's had a spin, unfortunately, at the hairpin.
Better stop talking.
So Ben's had a spin. He must have tried an attack on Kyle Townend. It didn't work there. So Kyle is now on his own in 5th position because Stephen Vischer's dropped back a few lengths. As a result of that, another one goes spinning out. And was that a wallop straight into the pit wall? Yes, it was in backwards. Who's that? It's the number 12, which is John Bond. He was 9th.
Did he make contact or did he just miss out? It looks like he might have just got some crumple on that rear.
Yeah, he's just clipped the tyres, I think.
It looks like he's just looking for an opportunity to join you. It's a bit blind there, so you can't really see. So as the battles continue, it's got a bit dramatic as we come towards this last minute then, but it is still Matt Fox ahead of Richardson, ahead of Tomadakis, Davis, Townend, Vischer, Hawkins and Thulle last time through. So some people making that, but Ben Oliver, the big loser, 3 places down on that lap, and John Bond losing 13 before he got back over the line that time through.
One of our commenters asking what happened to Ollie Walsh. He had a spin early on in that race. He's down in 16th, so he had a spin. I think it was a Church corner. We see a battle coming up into Rockets. That's where a lot of the overtaking has been done today. The 55 at the front of that is Ollie Walsh. She's trying to make places back up again as Matt Fox continues to lead. 40 seconds left.
Lost some of his lead this
on
time.
The clock now. Yeah, it's down to 1.3 seconds. His last lap was a 1:49.5. I think there might be a bit of rain coming down, you know, because the lap times are dropping.
Can't see any rain on our windows outside, but nevertheless there may be, you know, even just a wind direction change or squalls or even just Matt Fox trying to manage it towards the end. This is going to be start of his last lap this time through. The clock's going to run down to 0 by the time they come down. You see the last lap board being hung out by the marshals, so all these drivers got one more lap of this Anglesey International Circuit to see if they can make any other places up. Every single place they make up is worth a point. Matt Fox was the only guy that's got a couple of points gap, as that's the benefit of winning the races. And how are you in a Caterham Championship do develop these gaps? But Richardson is still there hunting him down. Can he do anything about him up this long back straight? I would say that gap is still looking pretty comfortable at the moment, but he's on the wrong end of the direction of that. It's gone down to 1.25 seconds. A couple of laps ago he had 2.6, so yeah, really has come down heavily. But Richardson has been the opening form driver, and can he do anything? Another second place would be great for his championship, though.
Yes, he's been on the podium in every event this year. 2 wins and a second place for Max Richardson. This will keep him in the championship lead with another second place, but he is closing. He wants another win. Matt Fox, he'll be getting a bit nervous in there, looking for his first ever motor race victory. Just needs to keep it cool for the next few corners. He runs a bit wide through Peel. Third place is Nick Tomadakis. He's looking for his first ever victory as well. They've gone clear of Richard Davies there. He is in 4th position in the number 25.
Oh, the jitter's real, Dave. Is he feeling it in that car? Is it nervousness, or is it just confidence that he's got what he needs? He's certainly still got a bit of a gap, but we've got one more corner. Richardson really late on the brakes there. I don't know if he outbraked himself. Matt Fox working the wheel really hard there. He's still got a comfort gap. I think he's got this done.
Here they come then down towards the bus stop for the final time. Max Richardson is going to keep his championship lead with a 4th podium of the season, but it's going to be a first win in the Moobob Caterham Academy Championship for the man from St Albans in Hertfordshire. Number 99, Matt Fox, comes out of the final corner and takes his first ever motor racing victory. Fox wins it from Richardson in 2nd. Nick Tomadakis is 3rd. A spin on the last lap, number 47. That's Sam Eminson, who was in 12th place, has gone around. Richard Davies, the home hero, has come over in 4th place. Kyle Townend is 5th. And Stephen Vischer just lost out there on the last lap to George Hawkins, who takes 6th position. Seb Foley comes over in 8th. 9th place, rolling across the line there. Somebody finishing very slowly. I think that's, is that Ben Oliver?
Oh, sorry,
no,
yeah,
he's come home in 10th. Yeah, just behind Ollie Smith. So Ben Oliver must have had a problem there on the last lap.
So there we go, P5. And as you could see from the onboard, I was fist pumping like I'd won the damn thing. That was pretty intense. Hopefully the video did it justice. Certainly the kind of friends and family who were watching at the circuit and the live stream at the time seemed to be quite an entertaining race. George and I, it was just such a fierce but fair battle all the way through. And sorry, George, but I was just so relieved when I saw you heading off into the runoff zone at Peel. I don't think I had another two or 3 minutes of that left in me. But yeah, really enjoyed that. You know, it would be great to have a fight like that and finish on the podium, but really at the time you just don't care. It was yes, so intense all the way through, and after the drama I had at Thruxton, it was great to bring it in with such close racing, with not so much as a scuff on the car. George and I didn't touch for the whole thing, and I think, you know, we were overtaking and defending at pretty much every corner on the track at various times. So yeah, really enjoyed that. Well done to Matt. Matt led away from pole. I think myself and a few people have known that Matt is a really quick driver, and we knew it was only a matter of time before he put it together in qualifying, got himself a front row, and he delivered on that. So yeah, really happy for him and everybody else who finished. I think there were some really happy people after race 1, and it was great to see. So yeah, that was it for Saturday. Following this, it was a case of getting the gazebo tidied back up, ready to come back and do another race, starting from 5th once again the following day. More on that in a future upload.